Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and today I'm joined by Eric.
Plain jumping Eden.
We're back for our Santa Barbara segment. Today we are discussing episodes 41 to 50, so we have a lot to discuss. So I'll roll the credits so we can get right into it. So are you happy now that Kelly is kind of like backing Joe up?
um, yeah, I'm all right with it.
You still not really rooting for them?
Not really. I mean, I don't care one way or another.
um, so Kelly admits that she's not really sure that Joe killed Channing, and Joe wants her to meet Dominic. And the plan is for Kelly to hide while Dominic and Joe talk, and then Kelly will just, I guess, pop out.
I don't think she was going to pop out. I think she was just gonna listen, but since Dominic was like kind of panicking, like, what's
Uh-huh.
going on here? Like, it's freaking me out. Like, I think she was just supposed to listen
Okay.
to what and answer the questions to what he was saying. So then she'd be like, okay, it's true. But since he panicked, I
Right.
think that's why she popped out.
It was because she heard him reiterate that he and Joe found Channing's body together. So
Yeah.
she told herself. Um, at one point, Joe went to La Mesa. That's a restaurant that they will go to.
Was that what
um,
it's called? I don't think I ever caught the name.
yeah, it's called La Mesa. Um,
Isn't that the mess? I don't know.
maybe
I mean, I
MESA.
would think. Maybe it's not.
MESA is what it's called.
La Mesa.
La
Maybe.
Mesa.
Maybe it's something else. I'll
Um,
look it up.
so he stares at a photo on a postcard, and Cece is looking at a photo of the same woman, and Warren and Lionel show up, and Lionel tells Warren that they lost the beachfront property,
Hmm.
but that Minx doesn't know yet. Um, Joe realizes that LL could possibly mean Lionel Lockridge on the postcard,
Yeah.
and Mason and Lionel fight.
He's in fights with everybody. He's such a
Right.
tool.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe his character changes at some point because he seems to be a fan favorite, especially with Nancy Lee Grauman's character.
I'm guessing maybe she'll mellow him out, but right now he just hates life and everybody in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's so annoying.
um,
Everybody else is a favorite but me, that type of personality.
um, Gina calls the Capwell estate for Kelly, and Cece isn't happy that Gina's in town. And
Did
Cece,
we know who Gina was before?
um,
I don't think she
we
was in it before.
she wasn't in it, but we heard her name when we got the phone call that Gina's husband had a heart attack or a stroke or whatever.
And
And
Gina would be
Gina is the mother
adoptive
of
mother.
Brandon, Santana's son. She's the adoptive mother.
Right.
But I feel like her and Kelly like know each other, like they went to high school together.
Yeah,
It seems
it
like it's
seemed
like
like that.
that. Um, but yeah, so Cece moved Gina to the presidential suite, and Cece and Peter plot against Joe.
Of the Capwell Hotel. I didn't think I even knew they had a hotel, but I'm trying to like remember, but I'm like, I guess they have everything. I don't know. I don't know how powerful they are quite yet.
Which further confuses me of why Ted wants to buy this motel. Because at first I was like, okay, maybe he wants to buy this motel and like start his own business and then like start like Capital like hotels. But the family already has hotels.
I
So
guess he
no.
wanted maybe, oh, you know what it is probably? The beachfront property, having a ho maybe they don't have a hotel on the beach. So now they can create one, and that'll be more of a, what is it called when
An attraction.
tourist attraction.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
gotcha.
guessing. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm assuming. I
So
like to stay at a hotel on the beach.
Santana and Cece run into Gina and Brandon, and it's it felt awkward for me as a viewer because I'm like that's Santana's son and she doesn't even know it.
I thought she knew his name. She didn't know his name?
She didn't
Okay.
because they
I
flat
thought
out
she
call him
overheard
Brandon
it.
and she doesn't even flinch.
Right, I thought that too, and I was like, I guess she doesn't know. She's not acting. I would think she would act differently if she knew.
Yeah, and remember when they were in the gazebo and I was like, he answered the phone and she didn't seem to like feel like be nosy when he said Brandon. But we thought maybe she didn't.
Yeah.
She was snooping around for like the love letters or whatever.
And he doesn't look a thing like any Hispanic or anything.
Maybe he looks like his father.
He's like this blonde-haired kid. I'm like, I would never. Although, if Santana still had the blonde hair, I might be like, oh, okay.
hmm
But I don't know about.
Um, Mason and Kelly have a talk, and they how Cece stayed single for 15 years after Sophia died. And Mason kind of reiterates that he's not really happy about the idea of Kelly hanging out with Joe.
Right. But
Um,
nobody is.
were you grossed out by Santana and Cece dating at all?
I am actually. I am very much so. I looked at it like Santana grew up with his kids.
hmm
So you're basically dating your daughter. That's how I look at it, and it just keeps me out.
Yeah, they like have sex, and that makes him like want to claim her and just like tell the world that they're together.
But
uh,
I don't know how like nobody seems upset with it. I mean, they're surprised. Some of them are surprised, but nobody's like, "Dude, that's gross." Like, like how I would be.
um, so Kelly and Joe confront Dominic, and Kelly believes in Joe, and Peter is at the hotel, and two thugs follow him.
Well, now Kelly believes Joe. She
Yeah,
didn't until that.
she was like leaning towards believing him.
She was, but she wasn't like, well, she was like, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking like that type of thing. But
I'm
now that
less
she
I'm
knows for
less sure
sure,
you did
she's
it than I was 5 years ago.
right. But now she's all Team Joe.
Yeah. um, so Peter gets beaten up by a couple of guys, and when he gets home, Ginger's waiting there, or was she waiting there, or did she knock at the door?
I don't know, but she's there.
Do you like her? Because I kind of love her.
Um, she's kind of annoying. I feel like she's one of like a one note character right now. She's just like like I want my money
Mm. I
and
kind of
that's it.
I'm enjoying like
I want more.
her campy villainousness.
Yeah, I just want a little bit more of a background, and I was more interested when well, we'll talk about it when we get to it because it was like in the later episodes.
Well, she calls him Antonio.
Oh, and by the way, this woman is on Golden Girls. Did
Yes,
you?
yes. I know
Yes,
that's what you're talking about. Yep.
when they think they're cursed.
Yeah, yeah.
She's the maid.
Did you know it right away? Were you like, oh my god, it's
I
her?
did. Well, I did, and then I looked her up anyway because I'm like, I just wanted to see what else she had done because I didn't
Uh-huh,
know she would did a soap, but
uh-huh.
she wasn't in any other soaps, and I thought maybe she would be.
Hmm. So we finally get confirmation because it's been alluded to by Augusta that he was a gigolo, Peter, and apparently Ginger was his madam. And
Yeah.
Ginger tells Peter, oh, she tells us Peter's backstory and how he tried to kill her and steal her money, or he stole
So
her
this
money.
was so this.
Kelly shows up and Ginger and the thugs hide. And I thought it was funny that Peter's like sitting there and you could tell like his eyes he's shutting because he knows they're hiding in the other room. So he's like
Yeah.
he's trying to get Kelly out of there as soon as possible. He's like, I'm just really tired. I have to go to
Yeah.
bed. um, so Ginger wants $250,000 now.
Yeah.
um,
And he
or
don't
she'll,
have that money.
yeah. Otherwise, she's gonna reveal his Miami past to him to everybody. Because she has videos apparently.
And he was young. He said he's only 15, like later. I'm like, what?
Oh, I didn't
I'm like,
catch
what
that.
did this? Yeah. That's
Wow.
why I wanted to get to these later episodes because I'm like, I know, they're freshly in my mind, but I was like disgusted. I'm like, this woman needs to be killed. Like, ew, she's
So
pimping out kids.
she originally agrees to give him 2 weeks to do it, and then later she like changes her mind.
Yeah,
um, I wouldn't feel safe just sleeping there, knowing that this woman and her thugs could just like walk in at any moment.
yeah, it's weird.
But in episode 42, Dominic finally started to take off the fake beard and everything.
Yeah,
So shocker, it's a woman.
so you can see that it's that Rosemary Forsythe that I tagged you in, who
Oh yeah.
played Laura Horton on Days at one point, and I didn't know that, or I didn't remember that.
Oh
Only
you
for like
didn't?
a year, I think.
Oh you didn't
I
know
don't
that?
think so.
Oh,
I didn't remember. If I did know it, I didn't remember.
I thought that's why you were all about this because you knew that.
No, because Rosemary Forsythe is in a very good episode of Charlie's Angels.
um, Warren and Lionel discuss the business, and Lionel wants Warren to go back to school. Warren brings up
You don't want
Sophia,
school.
and Lionel tiptoes around the subject. They talk about the kidnapping and how Sophia was found unharmed, and she died in a boating accident not long after, but there was no
She's
body.
alive. She's
Yeah,
alive.
there's no body.
Yep. Nobody. She's here. She's coming. I don't know when. So wait, so Sophia is DC's wife,
Uh-huh.
ex-wife. Wait, was it his what current wife or his?
Sophia was his last wife, the one that died.
So it was the one.
So she's Kelly, Eden, and Ted's mother.
Kelly, Eden, and Ted's mother.
Mason has a different
Eden.
mother.
Right. Who's the first wife, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Uh,
was surprised to find out about her and Lionel. I didn't know that was
I
a
was
thing.
and I wasn't. It wasn't something that I knew, but when they said it, I was like, "Oh, I guess that makes sense." I don't know. It just felt like something to add to like the feud between these two families.
Well, it does and it doesn't make sense because I'm like, if these families really had nothing to do with each other,
Mhm.
how would that have come about? So I'm really curious if we ever find out like more of this background story.
Dominic like makes it known to Kelly and Joe that he's rooting for them.
Yeah.
He's like, I just want you guys to be together. You're like destined to be together.
And who we don't think this is Sophia, right? We don't know who this is. Or
uh,
do you know?
I do know. Do you want me to tell you?
No, no, it's fine. I'll wait.
Okay.
We love spoilers.
For a 40-year-old show. 40 this year, this past July.
Oh wow.
They just had like a reunion event in California.
Yes, I wanted to bring that up. It's Marcy Walker returned to the public because she has not been seen since she left All My Children.
Oh, really?
She has not been to any events, anything. She's
Hmm,
just been like a shut-in.
really?
So it was a big, that's why it was a big deal for her to be there.
Oh, nice.
It was nice to see her. She looked great. Got to be in her 70s.
Yeah, probably. So Dominic, now obviously female, is talking to
hmm
himself in his female voice or her voice.
That was funny. So I guess she's just making that voice up. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm sure
it
it's,
sounds like she's talking into like a voice changer, but I guess not, right?
well, I guess she is, but she isn't. You know what I mean? Like somehow she can make her voice like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Like they're
it's
doing that
weird.
to make her voice like that, but we're not seeing that. We're supposed to believe she's doing it on her own, I
Right, right. Which is hilarious.
guess.
I wonder how they do that though, because she like even when you see her talk as Dominic, like you don't see any sign of anything. So, and she really like mouths it really good. Like it's
Yeah.
just a good actress, I guess. She got me
Uh,
fooled.
so like I said earlier, and so episode 43, Ginger and her thugs wake Peter up.
Goons.
Um, she moves the deadline up to 1 week for the payment, and she has crazy eyes.
This is the first time I've felt for Peter. Like I really the way he acted when he in a few more episodes, like I was like, I feel bad for this man. Like he's
Um,
going through it.
this is gonna make me sound really superficial, but like when they had him in the chair and his shirt was ripped open and she was like threatening to mess up his beautiful face with her cigarette, I was just like, damn, he's sexy. Look at that chest. Like I wasn't even like pulled in by like how dramatic this was. I was just like, he's soft. I have a thing for Peter. I like him.
Well, I feel for him. I feel like he's I'm trying to explain I can't explain it, but he's like a character that you kind of root for in a way.
Do you
Like
remember
he does
Tim on Sunset Beach? Meg's ex?
yeah, I do.
Do you think he's like a Tim?
He seems kind of like it. Like causes trouble, but like has a good reason why, like type of
Mm,
thing.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what else? Oh, Santana dreams about seeing Brandon, and we see a flashback to her giving birth and
Yeah.
seeing the baby in the maternity ward. Cece shows up at Santana's, and Cece wants to make their relationship public. He wants to define the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Brutal.
Santana tells Cece that Cruz is helping Joe, and Cece is worried that Kelly is in love with Joe. But Ginger managed to like sneak in and pretend to be the dressmaker for Kelly.
Yeah.
That was a funny scene.
And she's like
It's
stalking
like she's
poor Peter.
taunting Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could get to Kelly and kill her if I want to.
And by the way, I totally get why Robin Wright is a big star today because she really sells it. I just I don't know if she won any Emmys for her role, but I need to look. But she deserves one. She's really good.
Um, so it's gonna be Cece's birthday, so they're having a birthday party at the house. Um, and I
Wonder how
guess
old he is.
they mention Eden might be coming back for the birthday. Um, this didn't annoy me as much as I thought it would, but the kids doing the whole marriage project in school, I was actually okay with.
No,
That teacher's an
it's
asshole.
not okay. It's not. It was so dumb. I'm like, Tommy probably loves this, and I want to die. So
I would
stupid.
have died. That teacher's an asshole, though. I feel like he's out for Ted for no reason.
Oh, he's totally an asshole.
Yeah, Mr. Bottoms.
My favorite Martian. He is not my favorite Martian anymore.
The kids tried to meet up with a realtor to purchase the property for the motel, but they can't because they're underage. Oh, so Peter tries to write a check for Ginger from the Capwell account, but he I guess has like a crisis of conscience and he rips it up.
Right.
Joe wants to know about Sophia and Lionel, so he like busts in on Dominic's hotel room. Um, Joe spots something about a place in Alaska, and Joe and Kelly think Dominic has a girlfriend.
I didn't even catch that. He must have been doing something.
So Marissa, which is Joe's mother, accepts Kelly's apology for putting her son in prison.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was nice. I like that scene.
were you happy you didn't see the father?
Yes. Anytime I don't have to see that asshole, I'm happy.
um, so we find out that the Capitals were robbed at one point,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, like, if it was supposed to be after Channing's death or around like the time that
Mm-mm.
Sophia died. Like, I'm not. It's like
It
unclear on that.
it's it was around Channing's death, I believe.
Okay.
'Cause that's
Um,
why Warren's involved.
Peter actually goes to Augusta and tries to get money from her.
Yeah, that was I would just go around trying to get like a few thousand from everybody. Just maybe like, hook me up. Like nobody can give a quarter of a million. What's his name? Lionel sends the tape to Cece.
Oh, we find out that Warren actually was the one that robbed the Capwells.
Yes.
He has the coins that he stole from
Yeah.
before Channing's when he was murdered. Um, Augusta admits she kept Joe close to keep the real murderer from being found. She thinks it's Warren for some reason.
Warren met Summer in 44.
So is she important? Oh, is that Gina's friend, the other blonde? There's a lot of blondes.
Yes, I'm guessing she is because I think it's a love interest for Warren. I'm assuming that she
Oh,
is.
okay. I wasn't really
And
paying
then what?
attention to her because I didn't know if she was going to be anybody.
Yeah, I had a feeling she would be because Warren needed something to do because I feel like he wasn't doing anything. And this is when he starts the fire in 44 as well.
Oh, it was that episode. I thought that was
Yeah,
later. I thought that was later.
no, not according to my notes. I was confused at what he was setting fire to. Like what was it like? Police records? Oh yeah, didn't I think there was like records and they're like, oh, the records are kept somewhere else, those records, because it was from 5 years ago, remember?
Hmm.
And I think that's where he went. And then he tried to set fire to them and then got caught in the fire and he was like inhaling smoke and stuff.
But then later on at the Lockridge
Dummy.
house, it looked like they were burning newspaper clippings of like Joe being arrested for the murder.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
I was very,
confused at what's
I was
happening.
very confused by that. And Augusta was concerned because like Warren smelled like smoke from the fire that he started.
Yeah. Dummy.
Because then they like put the news on and the fire's being reported on the news. And now Augusta's like all over the place with this.
And did Banks get arrested for something? I didn't catch what she was arrested for.
Oh, I have it here. Minx was arrested for trespassing in the beachfront. Oh, the beachfront property, and she didn't know at this point that the beachfront they had lost it.
Right.
So that's why she
Right,
didn't
right.
understand why they wanted to arrest her.
Yes.
So then Lionel has to tell her what happened.
Right. That's why she was upset. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, at the Capwell mansion, the kids are getting ready for Cece's party.
Yeah.
Eden, that's when Eden calls and says she's on her way.
Yeah.
Um,
Which was the most pointless entrance that I've ever seen.
that's surprising. Ted and Lakin try to get Kelly to sign the lease for the hotel,
Yeah.
and she actually does.
Yep. She didn't even read anything. She trusts them.
um,
So or Mason, she probably won't trust them.
Peter asks Mason for help to get rid of Ginger, and Mason tells Peter to get Joe back in prison, and he may help him. And Peter breaks into Joe's garage and plants drugs in Joe's motorcycle. The party starts. Peter shows up. Cruz shows up. And Mason is shocked about Cece and Santana because originally he thought he had asked Santana to go to the party and she was like, oh no, I can't. So he thinks that she changed her mind and that he's there for her, not that she's there for his father.
And then he thought she was with Cruz.
Uh-huh.
And then ultimately she finds that she's like, I'm not with him, I'm with Daddy.
And then at the end of this episode, we see like the back of the head, like we see like a blonde woman in the plane or helicopter having sex with the pilot. I
I
guess
was gonna say,
it was on autopilot.
yeah,
You
because
saw
the
like the
plane
scroll going like this.
turning back and forth, and I'm just like, what is going on here?
And
I
then
didn't think they had autopilot back then, but I guess they did.
the plane goes low and you see a woman parachute down from the helicopter. It was ridiculous. There was no point to
It
this.
it really wasn't. Is that like even I don't know, because she flew into the Lockridge house or like to the entrance.
Uh-huh.
But I'm like, it probably would have even been better if she just got to her regular landing and like, I'm here, like I think it would have worked out better. But she was like bumped into Warren, and I'm like, this is dumb. Unless they aren't gonna involve Warren and her at some point. I don't know.
Right. Gina shows up with Brandon, and Rosa sees Brandon for the first time and is like all playing with him, being cute. And I'm like, that's your grandson. And you don't even know it.
Yeah, I don't know how they kept the secret if she works there. Like, it makes no sense.
Right. Cece loves his gift of the beachfront property from Mason.
Yeah,
And Cece hires Mason at the company.
he's proud of him finally.
Um, oh, so when Eden finally lands in the Lockridge estate, her and Warren are flirting a little bit. And he asks her out. um, Mason isn't happy about her arrival.
Of course not. Well, at first I think he was. Um, he was just like, oh yeah, the family's back together, but then he was kind of nasty.
She apparently bought Cece an airplane, which trumps Mason's whole beachfront property present. um, so Cruz and Eden, it felt like they had a past, the way that they kind of were arguing.
They have to. I mean, they grow up together.
Do you think they were romantically involved when they were younger?
Not sure at this point. I would assume they might have dated, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because no, I don't know, because he never really talked that. Like, I would think they would have mentioned it, like one of the family members. Like, oh, you used to date, like something like that. But I don't think they ever did at this point.
Joe goes to Anchorage, which I
And
think is like a mental hospital.
who was there?
The woman from Poltergeist.
Zelda Rubinstein.
Were you shocked to see her?
I was shocked to see her. I'm like, I didn't know she did a soap. Go girl.
I know.
She was everywhere in the 80s.
I feel like everybody makes an appearance on the show at some point.
Seriously, right? I saw her in the beginning part because they have that little weird music montage. I don't know where that came from
Mm-hmm.
before the credits.
Mm-hmm.
And it had her in it, and I'm like, what the hell is she doing there?
I didn't realize it was her at first. I'm like, who's this really short person he's talking to? And then I realized it was her.
Yeah.
Um,
This house is clean. I love her.
apparently Dominic or was an inmate there, or Dominic out of his costume was an inmate there. She tells him Dominic was a woman and skilled at makeup, and Josie's the doctor in charge, can't help him.
Yep.
Lionel goes to Veronica, and Lionel saves Veronica's brother. That's why she's helping. Oh, saved Veronica's brother. That's why she's helping him fool Peter and Mason. So there's a tape, the tape that you were talking about that was mailed,
Yeah.
that has Veronica and Mason talking badly about Cece. And he like calls Veronica to come over to the estate to confirm that that's not them, that somebody like doctored this tape up. And she's like, yeah, no, that's not us. And he's just like, okay. Like, he just believes them. I'm like, what?
Yeah. He's like, it sounds a lot like me, but that's not me.
Yeah. I'm like, no.
Like, it's clearly you.
What?
Okay.
It's basically like, no, I never said that. That's not me. He's just like, oh, okay. Well, as
They
long as
always say, deny, deny, deny.
oh, then it's not you.
Yeah.
Joe breaks into the asylum at night and he finds a file marked Jane Doe from Santa Barbara, but it's empty. Joe calls Dominic and he realizes that Joe's in Anchorage. And they meet up and Joe tells Dominic that he knows that she's a woman.
Yeah.
Um,
And this person gets very upset.
Danny and Jade take Joe's bike out for a ride, and Peter reports the drugs, and the police pull them over,
I like that.
and so they
That
get
was funny.
arrested for the drugs.
Now, see, I'd rather see the kids do something like that instead of being in school being dumb.
Yeah.
I'd rather them just not show school if it's going to be like that, which I guess why it fades out eventually.
Eden and Cece talk, and Eden's very secretive about how she gets her money.
Yeah,
Mason is just kind of glaring at them as they're like reconnecting.
that's
Um,
what he does.
Kelly wants to know what Cece did to Joe, and Eden calls Cruz and wants to meet. Oh, so Joe and Peter are being held at gunpoint by Ginger and her thugs. Oh, Ginger taunts Peter in front of Joe. She tells Joe that Peter was a male prostitute.
When he was 15,
Kelly is at La Mesa
La
and
Mesa.
talks to an old friend who's a waitress in there. So this girl, I didn't really pay her no mind until later on, because now they're
She
looking.
replaced Tony.
So I was like texting with Matt about this. This girl, I think, do you remember earlier on in the series when there was this one weird girl who knew Joe from high school, and she was trying to get him a job, and she seemed like really into Joe, and we were like, why is she like obsessed with him?
Is it that girl?
Yeah, but this is a different actress. So I think if it's supposed to be
Ah,
her, they recasted, because Mason had a line where he says she tried to get him a job when he first came back to Sunset Beach, and that's what like rang in my head, because I was like, is she supposed to be this girl? Because that's a different actress.
oh,
I asked Matt, and I think he confirmed that it is supposed to be the same character.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Um,
So I guess Tony's just gone, right?
yeah.
I wonder if she doesn't get recasted. She's just gone.
I
No
don't.
more doctor.
I don't. Never even mentioned again.
All right.
Kelly said
Sounds
that was
good.
her best friend, and then she's never mentioned again.
Maybe they'll say that she went off somewhere if they do. If they don't recast her.
Oh, so the waitress's name is Sally, and she wants a roommate and offers it to Kelly. Meanwhile, back in Peter's apartment, Joe overpowers the thug, and Peter gets the gun. Peter threatens to kill Ginger, but Ginger gets away. Joe,
Well, no, wait. Because Joe helps her get away, basically, because he talks Peter out of like trying to kill
killing
her,
her.
which I thought was actually a really good scene. Um,
Joe feels bad
so
about
that
Peter's past.
Yeah, I like how Joe and Peter were talking, and he's like, "See what you like? That's not like you. You don't want to have that in your conscience." And like, it almost got through to Peter, where I almost felt like he was a little bit, like bromance-y. Like it was a
meanwhile,
nice moment between them.
he's trying to set him up with cocaine.
Yeah, I feel like he feels a little bit bad though, like now, because then you see when he called like to report when he left, and
hmm
he's like, "Wait a minute," like he's like fighting himself. That's what I mean. Like he's that kind of character right now. Like
hmm
he's like he likes Joe kind of like, but he doesn't because he's jealous. So it's he's fighting with himself. This poor guy.
Um, so we see Lionel go visit, I guess, Sophia's grave,
Hmm.
and he's drunk. And then Eden shows up at the cemetery to like meet Cruz, and Lionel sees her, and he thinks that Eden is Sophia.
Yeah, that was weird.
And I'm like, has he never met Eden before? Does he not know that she exists?
I was confused. I don't understand. But I guess maybe like again, they don't really see. They're supposed to be enemies, so they don't see each other or normally, I guess.
hmm
Um, and
Plus, I
that's
guess
just the
she's been out of
explanation,
town for a long time.
right? So I guess he hasn't seen her recently. I don't know how long she was gone. I don't know if they ever said, but
Um, Cruz tells Mason that Joe would not sell coke. I liked because they had warrants to look everywhere for Joe. Like, so they went to Cruz's houseboat, I guess, that he lives on.
right.
And I like that when he was like, "Would you help him if he wanted to?" Cruz was like, "Absolutely."
Yeah, I
He's
like
like,
that too.
"Yeah, I'd hide him."
Yeah,
I like that. That was funny.
yeah, me too. He's like, go Cruz. He stands up for what he believes in, and he don't care. He don't back down. I like it.
Eden doesn't like Santana. She's like side
Doesn't
eyeing
like
her.
him. I wonder why.
But at the cemetery, like I said, so Lionel sees her, and she hears him like professing his love for Sophia.
Hmm.
Um, but then like it was weird because the next day, or the next episode, Lionel and Gus are in bed, and he's like dreaming about Eden slash Sophia.
Okay. So he forgot to say how he got home.
Lionel
Lionel got, yeah, Lionel got driven home by Dominic.
at gunpoint.
Yeah, at gunpoint.
He was like getting the
That's why.
car, and he was like, "No," he's like, "I'm not robbing you. Just get." And he like held him at gunpoint and drove him home. I guess so he wouldn't drive drunk.
I guess, and that's what. Yeah, I think I'm guessing this person is related to Lionel, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know.
You think Dominic is related to Lionel?
Yeah, because why else would you do that for someone? Like if it was a Capwell, he probably wouldn't have. I'm
Mm,
guessing they're a Lockridge.
right.
I don't know.
Augusta and Warren talk about the robbery, and Warren admits he stole from Channing.
Um,
Eden is at La Mesa when Lionel shows up, and he's like obsessed. He's like stalking her from like every table in the restaurant.
yeah.
um,
Yeah.
Kelly and Peter come and they join Eden for breakfast. Mason arrives and needs Kelly at the beach. Lionel leaves a note for Sally to give to Eden. And cops think that a shark ate Joe. Because
Yeah, so
in the last episode, I guess, so Kelly and Joe were like on the run or at the beach, and she tried to get him to like keep running. And so like he jumped over
right.
the ledge and the cops went after him. And then it was like the next day in the next episode.
Well, before that happened, it felt like Kelly and Joe were like officially reunited because their song played.
Their song
And
played,
then
they kissed, and the
yeah,
whole time I'm like, what about your fiance?
I know. I
I
thought
was
the
like,
same
what
thing because I'm like,
up?
because she was being open with him, and now this is happening. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm confused.
And then Peter even had a line where he was like, if at the end of all this, you decide that you want to be with Joe, he's like, I'll understand. And she's just like, wow, that's really nice of you.
Yeah.
um, Lionel plays a video of one of Sophia's old movies. And Marissa shows up at the school to tell Jade that Joe got eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
And I
And
like
this is
that
what
Ted
you were.
was like, fuck you to the teacher to go out and like comfort his.
Yeah.
And then like the
The
whole
teacher's
class
like,
got up.
right. The teacher's like, no, sit down. That's their thing or whatever. And Ted's like, no, that's my friend. I'm going to be there. And
Yeah,
then Lakin's like, yeah, I'm out. Like, peace
yeah.
out.
And he's like,
It's a shame.
insubordinate. But then the whole class
Ridiculous.
gets up and he doesn't know what to do. um oh I don't I guess
Oh,
I
so in Lionel's dream of Sophia, there was that screaming noise too. So I'm like, where did that come from? I wonder if that's going to be a thing.
Well, we know that she died in a car accident, so maybe it's like her screaming when the car accident happened.
But was he in the car? Like, why would you dream that?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's what I thought was weird.
Maybe they were having an affair and she died while they were together.
They
And
were
that,
like on the run from somebody,
yeah, or
perhaps.
either on the run or it was just an accident while they were like sneaking around.
Well, because you said they never found their body, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe she was thrown from the
Maybe
car and into the ocean and eaten by sharks,
and
like Joe.
screamed all the way. Yeah. Is this where the Joe recast is coming? That's what I was thinking. But
So we're at episode 50. I don't think he makes it out of the 60s. I think he gets recasted like in the mid 60s.
so that
So we're pretty
um,
close to a Joe recast.
I figured it probably was because this is the time to do it. He's MIA.
Yeah. Um, yeah, you know what? I never thought about that.
Yeah, they usually come back as a different person.
Oh,
Oh,
I hadn't thought about that. I wonder now if we're not just gonna see Joe and then like you said, the next time we see him, it's the recast.
yeah, probably.
Huh,
I'm
I didn't even think
assuming.
about that.
So they'll probably be missing for a handful of episodes and then be recasted.
Damn. So then maybe he's done.
Damn.
Huh. I don't know.
Yeah,
When I
probably.
heard recast, I just assumed like it would be this Joe, and then in the next episode it would be the new Joe.
Yeah,
Wow.
right.
Huh. Okay. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Lionel sends Eden a hair thing or like something like a scarf to put in her hair, which I thought was freaky at
Okay.
that restaurant. I guess at La Mesa.
Okay.
And he's like looking from beyond, like watching her put it in her hair, and I'm like, this is getting weird. I don't know how I feel about it.
Maybe Sophia used to wear something like that.
And then we also find out so Augusta thinks she's protecting Warren because she thinks that Warren killed Channing,
Hmm.
but Warren's like, no. And that's why I think Warren was actually there that night
Hmm.
stealing stuff. I think that was the same time.
Okay.
So if Warren gets caught, that's probably why he was burning his whatever he's burning
Hmm.
everywhere because I think it tracks them to the mansion. Because why else, and he doesn't want to be, and he's like, and he even tells Augusta that he didn't do it. He's like, I didn't do it, like, and she's like, right, like she really thinks that he did it. And I'm wondering, I'm like, why would like what reason why would Warren have to do it? I mean, we might not know yet, but maybe he didn't like him because Warren does not act guilty at all. Like when Joe was coming by, wouldn't you be like,
Yeah.
shit, like
Yeah.
I might be busted because Joe doesn't, like I feel like he'd be nerd, but he was always chilling in his nice shorty red shorts, uh, showing off them legs.
um, Augusta and Lionel had like a nice little scene. There was a scene where they were just like basically admitting that they're an odd couple, but they love each other in their own way.
I thought that was like their only scene. I feel like they were hardly on together for these 10 episodes.
It may have been after he had his nightmare, like because that was like the bedroom scene. They were in bed
Right.
together, so maybe it was after he woke
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah, it was the nightmare.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Um, I wonder if
But that's
Augusta.
all I got.
I wonder if Augusta misses having sex with Joe.
Probably. But it makes sense of why she was trying to get rid of Joe because she thought her boy did it, and if he's around and he proves himself innocent, then who would be going down for it? So that
Right.
makes sense. But again, I don't know why she wouldn't have said something to Warren a long time ago, like, "Hey, did you kill?" Like,
In the last 5 years.
right, right. It seems a little weird now, but yeah, like whatever.
Maybe she thought since Joe was convicted that that was it, and she just would never speak of it again, and he would just get off scot-free.
Right, probably. You're probably right.
Yeah,
That's probably what she thought,
but
and
damn,
that makes sense. Makes
she
total sense though.
she was like trying to get him killed in the pilot, like those guys that were like
Hmm.
following the bus with the guns, and they shot the window out on the bus.
But that's why she was trying to stop him, and then she basically did like a keep your friends closer or your
Yeah.
enemies closer. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
and that's why she hired him and
Gave
was
him a
like, okay,
job,
I'll hire
seduced
him,
him.
banged him a bunch of times, and tried to get rid of him. Anything for your kids, except you killed your daughter's bird, but whatever. You're okay with that.
What do you think of Eden so far?
Eh,
Me.
I don't care that much yet about her.
Yeah. I'm still not rooting for any couples.
No, I'm rooting for people. Like again, I said like how Robin Wright, she's got me. I just watch her and I'm just like, she's so committed. I'm just like like just the way she's watch her really closely when you watch it, and I'm just like, damn, she's just convinced. She makes me care about her.
Okay.
Um, Even though I shouldn't, because I feel like she's an asshole for, not believing your man for all these years. Um, but I'm rooting for her for some reason.
Well, that's good that you like the
Um,
character because Eileen Davidson is the last Kelly.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'll like her by then. Isn't that
Yeah,
like
right.
9 years later?
Right.
Multiple Kellys later. Uh,
Right.
but I do like her. Yeah, I'm not like, I like Ted and Lakin, but they were hardly on, so they're not even like really doing anything.
Yeah.
So I
I
am, I want to say I'm rooting for Augusta and Lionel, but I don't think I am. And
Yeah, I know.
definitely not
Like
CC.
I like Kelly, I like Augusta, I like Ted. I really
Right.
I really like Ginger because she's so over the top.
I
I
don't, she's terrible. Like I get it, but at the same time, child prostitution is bad. I can't condone that character.
well,
I hope she goes out
yeah,
badly.
she's probably a temporary villain. I don't see her
I
being
like the actress, don't get me wrong. Paula Kelly is great, but I don't like this character at all. Especially if it's that. Ew.
I know it was weird how in the 80s they were just so fast and loose with like saying a young number like that, like it was normal.
Right? Like, couldn't you just be like 18 and it would still be bad, but it wouldn't be as bad. Like, who wrote this? I gotta look at the what the hell's wrong with you?
But yeah, I'm very interested to watch more because now I'm in it. I'm way past everything I've ever seen. I have no clue like what's happening next. So now I'm just like, oh my god, what's happening? Like I don't know.
I want the Dominic stuff to stop. I'm over it. I'm hoping she just comes out or whatever it happens. However you want to word it, I don't know. Just want to be like, here, I'm here, and this is me, and this is who I am. Let's go. I'm over it. It's been 50 episodes.
Yeah, which is only 10 weeks. We're in
We're in
October.
October.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was air dates in the descriptions, and I think we're on October 5th.
I thought it would be kind of funny if she comes out at like Halloween because like it wouldn't be a disguise. She'd be like, this is really me. Happy Halloween. I don't know.
But all right, anything else to add before we wrap this up?
No.
All right, well, thank you for joining us for another edition of Santa Barbara. Hopefully, we will bring you more soon. As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great night. Bye.
Bye.